Hi all, welcome. Welcome to the first video recording of this new initiative. Don't have a name yet, so it's not possible to say, well, welcome to the something to be decided. First, let me skip transcript. That's probably better. Yeah, new initiative. Lot has happened. I'm one of the voluntary litter pickers in the Netherlands, together with many other people in the Netherlands, but also many people in the rest of the world. Picking litter, making a difference in that way, cleaning the streets, but also taking pictures of that litter, trying to register it in one of the apps that are available. So I or other people can make an even bigger impact with that data that I created long after the litter already has gone. People say if you pick litter, that helps, and I believe and I agree with that. It does help, of course. But if you remove it, the signal is also gone. You remove the evidence of all the litter in the streets. So the only option would be to just leave it there, which is something we don't want to do. We want to clean it. But if you create data about it, then you can use the data well, in several ways to make an impact. What ways? It's a difficult topic, but luckily we have a lot of people in the Netherlands doing that and all around the world probably as well. So that's the reason why I pick litter, why I create data, why I use different apps for it. And most of all, I'm looking for a community where like-minded people are doing the same. Either it's picking litter or creating the data or using that data to do something with it. I've been using several apps to do that, all with success, I might say, but all also with some problems where I'm looking for something which I cannot find in those apps. We try to make the apps better. We tried it for a long time, succeeded in a way, but also at some point it became clear that it's not going forward the way I wanted it or some other people in the community wanted it. So we are trying something new. We started something to help another app that didn't work out the way we hoped. So we reused that concept and made something ourselves, which we might use by picking litter and registering the data, and which might also be used in combination with the other app and maybe even in combination with other apps, like a partnership maybe. One app may be creating the data, another app may be creating the reports about the data, or showing maps or whatever. See if we can combine several steps, sending data back and forth or whatever, to help the litter picker and people using the data even more. Well, just a few days ago, well, we started, no, not a few days ago, we started it some weeks ago. We started discussing it with a few people, and I'm one of the initiative taking people, I guess you would call it. English is not my native language, of course, so sometimes I'm struggling for the words, but I'm one of the people starting things up. So I'm also the one who just created a YouTube channel, because we have a Slack channel. Slack channel is where we discuss the topics, where we talk about what we are doing, where we are, which is also very new, so we haven't talked about it that much until now. But instead of just writing everything on a Slack channel, which also gets deleted after 3 months, so new people will probably not see everything that is typed before. I thought about creating this video, putting it on YouTube, so whenever someone feels like watching it back, it's possible. I will just put a number in front of it and you can view them in the right sequence. Not important, but it's a kind of kickoff, maybe. I'm just starting it, see how it works, if it works, and if not, well, we stop doing it. That's the way of working, by the way. We are doing it a bit of an agile way. We have product owners, I guess you could say that, which is Pieter Jan and myself. most of the times, I guess. And we have a lot of other people working as hard as well, more from the litter picking side, more from the developer side, people that are using the data. Well, a lot of people with like-minded interests and well, the same interest, same. I don't know how you call it. Anyway, I started this video and I wanted to show you something because a lot of people are still reading what we are doing, but with this video, maybe it's possible to just show what we are doing. So I'm going to share one of my screens. And I hope that's being recorded as well. This is the Trello board. We are calling it Litter Hero, which is not the official name. Hero stands for helping Earth removing objects or removing obstacles. And that's what we are doing. We are just, we have one goal, you could say, and that's making the world a better place. So helping Earth removing obstacles, picking litter, and doing stuff with it so we can even make a bigger impact. The name, not sure what it will be called eventually, but that's the working name, I guess. We created the Trello board. Normally I would share it, but we are looking for the to cut costs as much as possible. So it's really a hobby project for a lot of people without funds. Try where we can get as cheap as possible and still making the impact. This is the free version of Trello, and if I share the link, if I invite everyone to come and work together with us, which is the idea eventually, at this moment we are having a problem where too many people might do stuff which is not handy at this moment. Like I said, a few people are setting it up, so that's what we are doing right now. Once it's a little bit settled, then we will probably share it with everybody, so everybody can work on it as a sub-team or whatever you do. A little bit of explanation about it. Cards via email is a test. It will be possible if I share the link that you can just send an email to a specific address and it will show up here. So if you have bugs or wishes or other things you want to share, you can just write an email and it will show up here and we will see it and we can say, well, this is a nice issue or a nice wish, and we can put it on the to-do list. And basically everything you see here is that to-do list. And even though it looks impressive with a lot of cards, nothing is done yet. It's just something I wrote down in the last couple of days because I have a lot of ideas what might be handy. But most of all, I don't want it to be my project. It's not about what I want to do. It's about we all together, what we want to do. So whatever you see here, it's all created by me. And it can change. That's basically what I want to say. But we have some team guidelines. Read this first. Is some about the rules. How do we work, etc. What do we do? What is our way of working? When do we have the community calls? Social media. What do we write on social media? How do we do that? If we have a meetup, there's a countdown tool because we have people from all over the places, from every country. And if you say, well, let's meet at 8 o'clock, it might be clear to me and to other people in the Netherlands, but not for people in the US of A or in Canada or whatever. So you can use a countdown tool. So this is all team guidelines, I guess you could say. A lot of information in there. The epics, that's basically all the stuff that I guess we will be working on. So if you are going to create an application, doing whatever, you will probably need something with a user registration and profiles. And I can imagine that there will be something to create an account. And if you click on it, you will see description needs to be written down, acceptance criteria, something that I can do. I'm also a professional tester, so something I'm already thinking about. As a new user, I want to create an account using my email and password. That's the basic logical steps. Not that exciting, I guess. After doing the registration and the profiles, of after creating an account, we also have to think about something like the passwords being stored encrypted. So if you got hacked or whatever, there's no harm done. And the next one will probably be to personalize your user profile, where you will be able to state something about who you are, where you're from, what your interests are, or whatever. So these are all stories, as they call them, all things that can be done under one big epic, the user registration. I'm not a developer, but let's say I'm a developer and I see this card and say, well, that's a nice one. I can work on this one. I might just open it and probably a member and say, well, I'm going to work on it. It will add a member. And you see already some of the guys who are in this at this moment. And there are even more. That's not that important as well. So you can attach your name to it, say, well, this is a nice one. I want to work on it. And for instance, if there's another one, you might join in a sub team and say, well, let's work together on this part. And if you do, we might pull this one all the way to the side, because here you have the to do. And you might say, I'm going to do it on to do, or we want to get working on it. That's something that we need to do. And if I'm really working on it, I might as well put it on in progress, and I'll be working on it together, maybe with a couple of other people as a sub team. If it's ready, we will probably move it to the status review, and we can show it to other people and ask for feedback, or we can test it and well, see if it's working or not. And if not, we might put it back, say, well, we still need to do something, or maybe, well, not now, but we need to work on it in the near future or whatever. If it's really ready, we can just put it to status done. We have done already some things, and in that case, it might be input for a blog or a tweet, or maybe even a video or something on one of the socials. Say, well, we did something. Let's celebrate success. That's basically the idea. We've created the user registration and profiles. And then if we finish that one, we might as well go to the next one, say, well, then we can also do the password encryption or the personalization of the profiles or whatever. Well, at this moment, I didn't finish it, so will put it back. And this is what I'm doing a lot in the last couple of days, just creating cards and moving them around, seeing what is the view, which is well, which makes it most clear what I think needs to be done. And well, basically, maybe even more. If somebody says, well, if you have the user registration, you probably also need something. Well, just contact us and get involved, share your thoughts, and I might use another card and say, well, this blah, blah, which is also very important. And it goes under the probably MVP. That's what we are doing. We are creating a minimum viable product, something that is working, but not with all the flashy screens, etc. It is just working. Good is good enough. If it works, we start testing it. We start playing around with it to get feedback as fast as possible. And if you say, well, we thought it was a good idea, but it's not working out the way we thought, then we stop at that moment, or we go work on something else. So we don't continue working on it for weeks or months or as long as possible, and then suddenly do some implementation of it. We just create something and we start testing with it. Well, some other labels that I can add, which will all be shown on the cards, etc. So it's giving an idea of what's on the board to be done. You can filter. So if you say, well, I want to show specifics for instance, for the MVP, I want to show everything that is MVP at this moment, or everything that is a bug, or everything that is a wish. It will show all the cards that has MVP. So this is one, and we have a few others, and we also have some that really are in the done lane already, because we have created some basic steps at this moment. Let's clear the filter so we can show everything. At this moment, it's basically just me just sitting behind the desk and thinking about several apps that I already know, and say, well, what is the good stuff from that app, and what are we missing, and what would I like to see in some app. Doesn't mean that this is going to be that one, because like I said, it's just my wishes and my thoughts. But it might as well that people say, well, this is not something you need, or this is not something you need. Let's delete that one. I've created a lot of cards already, and I've deleted a lot as well. So it's just a moving something. Going to delete that one because it was just for the should be here somewhere as well. Archive and delete. So that's gone again. User image upload. We need a lot of stuff for the image upload. Well, data quality. For me personally, that's the most important part. A lot of apps that I used are okay-ish, but most of them have bad data. That sounds a bit rude. They have a lot of good data as well, but as a user, I cannot trust the data. Well, like I said, I'm a tester, so I test a lot. I see a lot of stuff, and I see the mistakes in some cases. Yet that data is being used by a lot of people, and they make claims, claiming, for instance, for World Cleanup Day, we found, I don't know, 10,000 cans of Red Bull. And if I download the same data and I do a lot of investigation on it, I can tell for sure that those numbers are not correct. So if you really want to use an app to create data and let other people use that data, then you must be sure that the data is correct, both as the one registering the data and especially for the one using the data. So data quality, very important. And that is something we need to discuss probably. How can we make sure that the data is correct? Or are we going the other way, not promising that the data is correct? So if I'm creating data myself and using it, I know very well what kind of data I have. So as long as I'm the only one using it, it doesn't matter that much what the data is probably. I mean, I can use it to my best knowledge. If it's going to be downloaded by other people, then it becomes very important. So a lot of stuff to be discussed at that point. Now for the upload, there are a lot of stuff. Maybe even do something with barcodes. If you have a barcode on an item, maybe you can just take a picture of the barcode and the data will pop up. Might also be very difficult, and people say, well, that's not something that we're going to do in 2024. That is something for much, much, much later. So all stuff relating to image upload. Then we have the image identification system, the tagging system, a lot of stuff, and also stuff to be discussed. So if there's people out there and joining the Slack channel, maybe, and this is one, existing standards. For instance, there are standards already. I'm not sure how you call it, but we talked with some people already about it. Something like OTEC, but it's a different name. I don't know. There are standards already. So if there are, it might be useful to use them in here as well. If we don't have them or don't know about them, we can make up our own standard and we can just say it's a can, it's a bottle. I mean, that's common knowledge, of course. But something to discuss and maybe to integrate if you are going to make something like that. Some ideas, some MVPs. Data representation. If you create the data, you also need something to show the data. So here are some ways to show that, just some ideas. Nothing, not even, I commented here a little bit already. Here there's not even comment, it's just an idea. If you have data, you want to show it somehow. Next one, community engagement. A lot of ideas already. For instance, how can we create and measure impact? Like I said, we are doing this basically just with one goal, to make an impact. How can you tell if it's working? If we are doing this for a couple of years and there's no impact being measured or no impact visible, we might as well quit, maybe. So it might be a good idea for 2024 or whatever, or I don't know, to come up with some measures saying, well, how can we measure if we are doing the right thing? Also make it personal, something I'm missing, and a lot of other websites is just a name or a nickname saying, well, member X, member 22, uploaded 20 pictures, but member 22 is a real person somewhere in the world, and he's doing a great job. She, sorry, if I'm talking about he, of course, I also mean she. So make it personal, show users on the website, make it a community. That's what I'm looking for, at least. Well, a lot of other ideas already. Multilingual support. We start in English, but of course, other languages will follow as well, I guess. and we need to think about ways to do that. Gamification, a lot of ideas already. Well, we have some Twitter account doing games. We might integrate with that. We have companies in the Netherlands who pay some kind of reward for every 10,000 items. Really nice guy from great business. So maybe do something in this app or website or whatever that shows what we are doing. Well, many other ideas already. Mobile app. If I'm talking about the application, at this moment we are starting with a web application, but of course app is also in our thoughts at least. So if you're a mobile app developer and you are interested in what we are doing, feel free to contact us, because that's also something on the to-do list, of course. Funds. Like I said, I don't believe in funds. I don't believe you need big money to make this happen. I guess we're just starting this to prove that it's not necessary, at least in my opinion. Like I said, we're using the free version of Trello. We are using the free version of, well, whatever. And we're trying to keep the cost as low as possible. Of course, there are funds needed. We need some hosting partner or whatever. We have annual cost. And I guess it would be a fun thing to see with all the people that we are together, and all the little pickers and all the people using the data, to see how we can come up with fun ideas to get the funds to cover the annual cost. Not big companies, not government, not municipalities or whatever, just make it fun. Go organize a sponsor, running event, pick litter while running, let people pay €1 for your effort. And at the end, if you have €50, we have already covered a lot of cost that we are going to spend in the year probably. And if everybody does something like that, I'm picking litter with deposit, bottles and cans. I'm going to donate my deposit to this project and cover the cost with that one. It's about the community and coming up with nice ideas and inspire other people to do something like that. Knowledge sharing. It's not about one person doing all the stuff. That's something which is killing most of the apps out there. It's just a small team of a few people, or maybe even one person doing all the stuff. And he's getting drained of energy. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy if you have to do everything yourself. Well, that's my idea of a community. You don't have to do everything on your own. If I am working on something with the app, somebody else can do something with a sponsor run and get some funds, while somebody else can try to share his knowledge about some development stuff. So somebody else can help as well. I can do the testing, but I can also explain it to somebody else how he can do the testing as well. So we both can test a little bit instead of me doing everything. That's the idea. Well, for instance, create a video on how to fix a bug, how to create a new language. If we are going to do more languages and that is taking some trouble, maybe we can show somebody in Spain to do the Spanish language, someone in Portugal to do the Portuguese language. It's not one person doing all those languages. It is educating people, knowledge sharing, so other people can help as well. Database structure, user management, well, something that needs to be done or to be discussed. In progress, some tasks already. For review, also some tasks already. And last but not least, done. MVP, so we are looking for the quick fix or the low-hanging fruit to get started. So we created an application without the first part, so without the part that needs to be there first. We need user registration and profiles. At this moment, we have something with an admin screen where the administrator can create the users. So if you are looking for helping out and you say, well, I want to test something, we can just create a test user for you. So this doesn't have to be ready yet because we already have the admin panel. And at that moment, you can say, well, with that user, the next step for the user is to log in. Well, that's working already. and you can upload an image. That is working. So we have some basic functionality to upload an image. We have some basic functionality to minimize the picture. So if you're uploading a picture of 10 megabyte, it's not necessary for us. We don't need that big picture. So we can just minimize it or shrink it. I'm not sure how the English word is, to make a small picture which is still visible or big enough for your screen. If you're uploading many pictures, we need some pagination. Not sure how to pronounce that one. Which is working also. It's done already. Dark light mode is something that we created for the people who are using the dark mode on their computer. So this is already done and it's working. And now let me move to another screen and give you a sneak preview. This is the dashboard. So I'm logged in as the waste wizard, which is only a test user. And be aware, it's just test data. So I'm also uploading pictures and tagging them to play around and to test with it, knowing that if it's necessary, all data can be deleted at any moment by one of us because we want to test something, for instance, with an empty database or whatever. So it's just test data. We are not really uploading all of our pictures and putting a lot of time into it to tag all this litter. It's just for testing purposes. It's not live. It's just hosted somewhere where we can test. So all the stuff for the team and that kind of stuff, it's all not working yet. We're not working on that one. The only thing we are doing is for the My Photos to upload the data. So I've uploaded 3 pictures with 3 of my litter pics results, the empty bottles that I found that day. And now I could tag those pictures. This is also one of the problems in other apps. Bad data becomes bad data because of pictures like this. If you state what the items are and what the brands are, things will get mixed up. If you get a download, you will see that the data is not to be trusted, even though the user is trying to doing his best to get all the information about this picture. It creates wrong data. This is just a test picture. I'm not going to take all those bottles. This is just for trying if the upload was working. And normally I would show you what you could do for taking itself, but unfortunately, and well, I put it in on purpose because that's exactly what we are doing. We get a server error. It is known. We've talked about with a bunch of people, and it's a known bug, and we are working on it. So no big deal. If this one is solved, you should get the picture and the screen where you could do the tagging itself, which was, like I said, already here. You can do the image upload, it's working, it's minimized, that's also working. Pagination is also working, and you can do the first steps in the tagging. That's what we are working on. Like I said, it's just basic functionality, MVP, and it's just a small set of all the cards that I already wrote down. But I'm sure and I hope that if you are interested as well and you are going to start mentioning, oh, I would like to have this and this and this, that there will be a lot of ideas popping up, and we will probably, or I will at least try to put your wishes that I hope will come in via Trello or via Slack. I will put them somewhere on the board, and I will first think, is this something that is under the epic of user identification or maybe under the multilingual support? I will create a card, and then we can talk about it and get some more information. And if somebody's out there who says, well, that's something I want to work on, you can just put your name on it and start working on it, and well, do it as a community. A lot of stuff, almost half an hour already, so I'll leave it here. It's the first kickoff, talking to no one in particular, but I hope you understand what I'm talking about, and I hope you will be interested. And if so, please get in contact somehow. I'll probably put a link under the video somewhere. It's on you, so just try experimenting and see what will stick and what we will skip for the next time. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you're interested. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.